My name is Marga Hugo. I am the president of the Rotary Club of Chicago, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to our honorees today and to all of you, friends of Rotary and friends of Rotary and non-Rotarians. And you will get, participating in this event, you will see what we're about. And we're delighted to honor women who have had an important impact on the community in Chicago. And I would like to tell you that the brain behind this extraordinary event is our past president, Lisa Ross. And Lisa had the brilliant idea of creating this award and this event to honor women in our community. So Lisa, thank you, because this is the 9th year that we are holding such an event. All right, now, for those of you who are not familiar with Rotary, we have a tradition. There is a bell, and that's how we get started a Rotary meeting in most places all over the world. And I ask you for a moment of patience because, technology and me is, we're good friends, but not intimate. So, by ringing this bell, I'm opening the 5,615th meeting of the Rotary Club of Chicago. Yes, it is amazing. And I am the 116th president of the club. So I would like to tell you a little bit about who we are, because, those of us who are members of this club, we absolutely love it. And, maybe you've heard a phrase called the power of one. Well, there was that one called Paul Harris, who one day back in 1905, thought it would be a good idea to gather with his friends, professionals with diverse backgrounds, to create what is today Rotary, a global organization with 1.4 million members distributed in over 46,000 clubs all over the world. But the very first club was this one, the Rotary Club of Chicago. So that is why we are also known as Rotary One. And you will see some of our members, they have a little pin that has a number 1, so that explains why we're Rotary One. Okay, we are a global network that strives to build a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change. Rotary values diversity and celebrates the contributions of people of all backgrounds, regardless of their age, ethnicity, race, color, abilities, region, socioeconomic status, culture, sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. One could also say that we are the very first LinkedIn. We love to make connections, and our network spreads in over 200 countries. So if you like to network and get things done, you can do the right place. We're also known as people of action. So to give an idea, back in 1985, a group of fearless Rotarians thought that it would be really good for humanity to eradicate polio from the face of the earth. And and that became our common cause worldwide. That's something all clubs have in common. At the same time, all clubs are different from each other. They all have a different personality. But at the time in 1985 that we came with this initiative, there were over 300,000 cases of polio worldwide per year. Imagine that. For this purpose, we partnered with the CDC, the World Health Organization, UNICEF, the Gates Foundation, and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, for this purpose, right? So thanks to this partnership, today, there are 3 cases of world polio in our planet. And we believe in partnerships because we believe that partnerships make us stronger. We work globally and locally in areas of education, water and sanitation and hygiene, peace and conflict resolution, maternal child health, the environment, and other areas that we call our areas of focus. We develop as well local youth programs, and we're known for our student exchange scholarships for high school age students. And we have clubs for young professionals called Rotary and clubs for high school students called Interact. We all do service for whatever the community we find ourselves into. We locally, we work with CPS, for example, to provide grants to enhance their different programs. And also we have a signature program that you will hear more about it. It is called Job One, and our president nominee, Elita Williams, is the leader of this program. So with that, I can tell you a lot more, but we're going to continue with the program. And it is the time now to acknowledge Esther Hanna at the piano. So thank you very much for your music. And Nelly Vasquez Roland was going to be our keynote speaker today. Well, she's a dear member of our club, and those of you who are from Chicago may have heard about the A Safe Haven Foundation. So she's not going to be here today. She had to travel to Mexico for family reasons, but she sends her regards to us. And now I would like to introduce Jody Stawicki, a member of our club, who is going to give us, share with us the higher thought.
This afternoon, I thought it was fitting that I would select a blessing written by a woman, Saint Teresa. May there be peace within. May you trust that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born in yourself and others. May you use the gifts that have been given to you. May you be content with yourself just the way you are. Let this knowledge allow your body and soul to sing, dance, praise, and love. Remember, there are each of these blessings for now and always for each one of you. Amen.
Jody, thank you. That was beautiful. Good morning, everybody. My name is Lisa Russ, and it's so great to see everybody. I echo Marga in thanking each of you for taking the time to be with us today. It is just such a great pleasure to be here in person and see this celebration into its 9th year, and I hope many years to come. For anyone who may not know, Margaret was telling us about Rotary, and it got its start just a few blocks away from here on the corner of Dearborn and Randolph. In fact, if you walk to that corner of Block 37, you're going to see a plaque that marks the former office building where these 4 businessmen met in 1905 and came together and came up with this beautiful idea, combination of business synergy and service to the Chicago community, and now, of course, to the worldwide community. While many things have changed from those early days, the common thread from 1905 to 2022 has been service above self, a service that is offered from our imagination, our hearts, our abilities, and our passion. We serve others because that's how we express who we are to the communities that we live in, whether we are teaching effective communication skills to young women, whether we're working to improve the education and therefore the futures of Chicago children, or whether we're addressing and challenging the way that incarcerated people are treated and bringing a sense of justice and hope to everybody in the process. Given that we're the world's first service club, at least that's what we say to ourselves, we decided that 9 years ago we were in a very good position to honor people. And we chose to focus on women to underscore that a big chunk of that 1.4 million members that Marga mentioned are women. I also want to extend a very special thanks to our collective members who are just with it, open-minded and generous-spirited, and who can consistently support and promote this celebration. Today, again, we honor women who exemplify the principle of service on which Rotary was founded. Each of them is an irreplaceable gift to their communities. Thank you again for being with us on this special day, made even more so by your presence. Thank you. Now, speaking of one of those women, I'd like to bring one of our powerhouse members to the podium for a second. We've got Elita Williams, who is our president nominee, who's going to be president starting in about a year from now. So Elita is going to tell you about a very important mission of ours.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. My name is Elita Williams. As I said, I am president nominee. I'll be president next year, so I hope to see you all back for that. But today I'm here to talk about Job One, which is our signature program. The Rotary Club of Chicago has a wonderful program where we work with Chicago high school juniors and seniors, and we get them great internships throughout the city of Chicago in all different fields with all different types of opportunities. And they're pre-qualified, and we do tons of wonderful training with them and get them job ready just for you. So we are also looking for wonderful employers. You all remember your first job where you actually went to work and you put in great 8 hours and got a real paycheck, because our students do make the going minimum wage. and they get to learn. They get to see what it's like to work in a corporate office. They get to see what it's like to see an entrepreneur have to work with customers. We have lawyers. Our students have gone to depositions. They've gone to court with their employers and seen what it's like to really be a lawyer, not what we all think being a lawyer is when you're 17. You're like, yeah, I get to go to court every day. And then they realize, no, you don't go to court every day. And we've had so many wonderful students to come through our program. And any of our employers can tell you that they have kept on many of their students throughout the years. They come back during breaks and work at those companies, and many of them have gone on to work in those companies after they have graduated. So if you know of any wonderful company that would like to be a part of the future of our leaders and the futures of our community, please let me know. Thank you.
Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this lunch. It is time to continue with the program. And I would like to invite our honorees and their presenters to come to the stage and take the seats on stage. Yes, there is. So, Alita, I would like to invite you to the podium to introduce Kelly Fair.
Hello again. 14 years ago, Kelly Fair saw a need in our community. The need to give African-American young girls the skills needed to properly communicate and express themselves at home, school, and in the community. The courage and the tenacity to have respect for themselves and to demand it from those around them. From their humble start at Carter G. Woodson Library on 95th and Halsted to being an internationally respected girls program that has served over 5,000 young women, Polished Pebbles has been a true transformative and influential impact on the lives of young girls, their families, and our community. Kelly and Polished Pebbles is eliminating the hope gap and is training the future leadership of corporate America, nonprofit, and entrepreneurs. Their work will be a catalyst for decades to come. It is my pleasure to welcome Kelly Fair and recognize her for her hard work for these future titans in our industries.
All right. Well, thank you so much to Rotary One for this really awesome honor. And I think I'm even more excited about the opportunity that we keep buzzing about partnership. Partnership this summer, Marshall was just mentioning and sent us a message about let's get together, let's plan, let's see what we're going to do specifically with Rotary One and Polished Pebbles. And of course, is that not the Rotarian way? Is to make sure that our buzz, our kind of quiet talk is about doing the work of service. So I want to thank you guys so much for this award, and thank you as I accept it as a Woman of the Year award, which is really awesome, for acknowledging my efforts. But this has not been an easy journey at all. It wasn't easy leaving my corporate job and kind of knowing within my gut that it was an opportunity to do something different, and just wasn't sure what it was, but I knew it had something to do with service. It was not easy losing that job and not knowing what the next steps would be. And trust me, I questioned the decision over and over and over again, especially when I got into the beginning stages of the nonprofit. Like, I left my corporate job for this. But it's moments like this today that reassure me that I definitely made the right choice. But one of the moments that really reassured me that I made the right choice was just a couple of weeks ago when one of our first Polished Pebbles mentees, Bria Lackland, who was in 3rd grade when she started Polished Pebbles. Now she's a graduating senior in college, and she came back to work with the organization this summer. So it is a great moment for me when an old girl like me is no longer desired by a group of 4th graders who are more happy to see this lady who was in Polished Pebbles in 3rd and 4th grade just like they are. And so for me, it makes sense, and it makes the journey really put it all together. It reminded me that I have never been alone. No matter how hard it gets, sometimes it feels really lonely in this position. I've never been alone. I have my parents here. My family has always been and had our backs. I still have my mother working on crafts like she's in a sweatshop to get things together for Polished Pebbles, but they've always been here, friends, community servants, people who may have been Rotarians and I didn't know, but gave and donated the first checks, the first Capri Suns and the granola bars for our first sessions. And then I'm really proud today to say that I've never been alone, and I continue not to be alone because I have some of my Polished Pebbles team members and staff who are here as well. So sometimes when we think about nonprofit work, we think about the founders first, who we see them first out and behind the mission. But behind any strong mission and organization, there's really a strong team who are putting in various roles, finding different solutions to all of these different problems, stepping up to save the day, and really live out the mission in so many different ways. So they allow me in so many instances to stand before you and move forward with grace and with confidence and with ease because they show up and do the work every day. So today I'm going to ask you all's permission to accept this Woman of the Year award, but I'm going to change the name. today I want to make sure that I'm accepting the Teen of the Year award for Polished Pebbles, because nothing that I do is not backed by my Polished Pebbles team and community of volunteers and supporters. So thank you guys so much for that.
Whoops. This is the scene from the wedding plan.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to invite Debbie to come?
Debbie? Here's the podium for you.
Thank you. I'm wearing, so we won't have to.
So good morning, or good afternoon. I have the privilege of introducing you to an extraordinary woman by the name of Dolores Jordan. When asked, she will always say that first and foremost, she is mom to Larry, Dolores, Rosalind, James Jr., and someone we might know by the name of Michael. She is exceptionally proud of each of her children, who she says have fully utilized the gifts that God has given them. She is also mother to hundreds of children who have benefited from the programs her foundation has created. Coming to Chicago, she and her family founded the James R. Jordan Boys and Girls Club and Family Life Center, turning a tragic loss into blessings for so many. And with the success of this center, she created the James R. Jordan Foundation, which for the last 32 years has been providing academic support for the children of Chicago. Through the James R. Jordan Foundation, Dolores Jordan has provided support for the children and families at Sherman School of Excellence, the Jordan Community Elementary School, R. Nathaniel Dett Elementary School, and the William H. Brown STEM Magnet School. With initiatives like Vision for Families, 18 Scholars, Time Out Summer Camp, Reading Together, and STEAM programs, she has changed the lives of our children and families. The principals, parents, families, and students know her to be their champion. She knows their names, relishes their victories, encourages them to be more, see more, to do more each and every day. Her passion for excellence encourages those around her to be the best they can be. The people and culture of Kenya first touched Mrs. Jordan's heart in 1993 when she and a group of students went to the Masai Mara. This experience would open her eyes to the scarcity of resources for Kenyan women and children. In 2000, under the auspices of the James R. Jordan Foundation International, the Kenyan Women and Children's Center was born. She believes that the women and children of Kenya deserve access to world-class health and education. In her spare time, and beyond her charitable adventures, Mrs. Jordan is a New York Times best-selling author and serves on the board of the Jordan Institute for Families at the University of North Carolina's School of Social Work. In 2005, she was recognized with the Clinton Global Initiative Award. In the years that I have had the privilege to know her, Dolores Jordan has taught me that the gifts we have must be given away, that we must use our gifts to benefit others at every opportunity. That's how we pay for the lives that we've been given. This extraordinary woman has shown us that this commitment and her passion daily. She is certainly the first mom of the city of Chicago, and she is my hero. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why today we honor Dolores Jordan as Rotary One's Woman of the Year. Did I do okay?
Thank you, thank you. I first want to say to Debbie, she did not miss a beat. She went all the way back to 1993. Thank you so much. Thank you. It is an honor for me to stand here again and to receive the award of Woman of the Year. As I join the other honorees, again, thank you. I want to say to the Rotary, thank you, and the Rotarians, thank you for looking at the work and the outreach that I think we all should contribute. But thank you for recognizing my work and what we have done here in Chicago over the last 32 years, as Deborah shared with you. We started in 1989 with the Michael Jordan Foundation, and then from the Michael Jordan Foundation, that's how I got to Kenya. And from the Michael Jordan Foundation, again, we moved into the James Jordan Boys and Girls Club after the death of Mr. Jordan, and then to the James Jordan Foundation, feeling like we need to do more outreach. We needed to touch more people. So I'm just honored to stand here again as I'm winding down, not leaving. You did hear Debbie share with you a few weeks ago, we did do a program which was recognizing our scholars and recognizing our principals and our alumni, and I can't pass without introducing them, but because they're here today to support me after the last 2 weeks also being a part of the Navy Pier event, which we were able to bring Michael in to help salute and to really have photos and share with the young people. You must continue to carry on. But One Arms, we've been reaching in the school doing an outreach program, having staff in the schools, through 7 schools, one in Aurora, two on the west side of Chicago, one again in Inglewood community, one in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the other one, of course, is in Roger Park. And so we have pulled back, but we have not left. We have just pulled back some of the programs because of COVID. And some of the things we were permitting and implementing in CPS, we could not continue to do so. So we sort of pulled back a little bit. But again, it is a privilege to stand here. And also just a moment that I like to take this time to say thank you to the team. As you heard earlier, behind there's always a successful team that helps support you, as no one person can achieve on its own. You always have to have someone in the corner rooting you on and saying, yes, you can. So at this time, I do have one of my principals, Dr. Roberts. Dr. Robert, stand, Dr. Roberts. She is from Inglewood, Sherman School. Thank you for joining me. On Brown, we also have Dr. Earl. Victor Herbert, dead Victor Herbert, you were here. Will you stand? She's just joined this first year, so I'm just getting to know her. But again, thank you for joining us today. It's a privilege. I also like to take this time to say to my advisory board, because again, as I said, that you are only as good as the team you stand behind you. So all the advisory board who is with me, will you take a moment to please stand? I have UIC, who she's been a part of my mentor and my advisory board over the last 13 years. Again, thank you. Northern Trust, I know you hear Laura Stan. She's also been a part of our advisory board. Again, I cannot go without asking the corporate board, who has helped directed me and guided me. Will you please stand and let the audience see the strong support we've had behind me? And of course, one of my alumni who was a part of, started with the MJ Foundation, 1989, and I have watched him grow and mature to an outstanding young man, along with his mother, Jerome Patterson, who is now working with the police department. Will you please stand? He shared a few weeks ago the struggles of being a youth and how, again, he was able to connect along with his mother. You should say it also, is your mom. As being a youth, starting at Victor Herbert Elementary School, and the encouragement and all the support he needed to help guide him. But what I didn't know, he had a friend who was also a part of that program called the 18, which we started in the school, that happens to be his wife, as they both grew together. She's not here today, but she's a registered nurse. So again, through the hard work and the commitment, he bound himself and stood solid and says, yes, I can. As we stand, and as you are here today, that's why you're here. The Rotary started many years ago, 1905. I read little things about you. But also I recognize the one in East Africa. I had the opportunity to visit also a group there from the Rotary. But what I'm so proud to see as I stand here is to see the Rotarians, the women who are coming aboard to be empowerment. Because in East Africa, when I stood there, all I had was the male. It's good to see all genders being recognized as you make a contribution. That not walking in front of you, not behind you, but walking beside you. Thank you again for opening the doors and allowing the women to stand here and have a voice. So again, thank you to the Rotary. Thanks again for all of your support and your continuous support for the community. I want to say again to Deb, who is the chairman of our board, who has directed us over the last year and a half. Thank you for your ongoing support with the communities, the schools we have engaged in, but thank you. Thank you for recognizing the hard work. It has not been easy, but if anything comes easy, it leaves quickly. Yes. When you work for it, it's deserving, you feel proud and happy of what you've been able to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you for those beautiful remarks.
Here's your award.
Thank you.
I did not introduce my granddaughter. Alexis, who flew up to be with Grandmama to receive this award. Thank you for Alexis. Stand. That's that next generation that we're passing the trophy to, saying, yes, you can.
Now we're zooming Evan in.
Okay. Now, we are about to see Evan Freund, our former member in paper, but current member in our hearts, because Evan not long ago moved to California, who is going to introduce our next awardee. Evan, the screen is yours.
Oh, thank you, Margot. It's a pleasure to be back in Chicago, even only virtually, to introduce Jennifer Sobel. Jennifer is the founder and executive director of the Illinois Prison Project. After spending years representing clients condemned to die in prison in intentionally labyrinthine court proceedings, Jennifer founded the Illinois Prison Project to advocate for better mechanisms for the release of people from prison. Since its inception 3 years ago, IPP has freed 77 people from prison, successfully passed legislation creating Illinois' first compassionate release law, worked with state agencies to create policies that reduce incarceration, and educated thousands of community members, lawmakers, and officials about the harms of mass incarceration. Prior to founding IPP, Jennifer was a staff attorney in the Trial Division of the Public Defender Service for the District of Columbia and an assistant federal defender in the Northern District of Indiana. In both jobs, she represented indigent clients charged with serious felonies and specialized in forensic issues, as well as representing juveniles charged as adults and sentencing law interests. Jennifer graduated from the University of Michigan and Yale Law School. She clerked for Judge R. Guy Cole of the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. On a personal note, it's been a joy to collaborate with Jennifer in advancing public recognition of the humanity and redemption of people in prison. Her accomplishments in mobilizing the Illinois and the national legal community in support of this cause are awesome. So it's a pleasure for me to present this award to Jennifer.
Thank you so much. And thanks, Evan. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to follow Miss Jordan, and I'm not going to try to do anything like she did, but it's a real honor to be standing before you today among such an incredible group of women who have given back so much to this community. Rotary Club has been built on the idea of service, as you all know very, very well. And I firmly believe that service is hope in action. If hope is the noun, then service is the collective verb. It's what we do when we dare to dream together, when we come together, and when we act together with a vision. One of my very dear colleagues says hope is a human right, and I believe that that's true. And so service is the manifestation of that right when we come and work together in community. But in order to work together in community, we have to see who we're working with, because it's not a for. We don't work for people, we work with people. But in the United States, far too many people who need service, who want to work collectively, are unseen. The United States has rendered more than 2 million people invisible through mass incarceration. Over the last 40 years, because mass incarceration in this country is new. It has not always been this way, and it need not always be this way. But over the last 40 years, we have put millions and millions and millions of people into prisons, into jail cells, into concrete cages. We've rendered them impossible to see and impossible to work with. And that's not a bug, that's a feature. That's the point of incarceration. We've stripped them of their ability to spend time with their families. We've systematically separated mothers from their children, sons from their mothers, and entire communities from their elders. Things are no better in our backyard, so please don't get too comfortable, because we live in a place that's supposed to be progressive. Here in Illinois, we have created a prison system that has many, many, many ways in, but basically no ways out. Illinois abolished parole. People don't know that. I'm an attorney. I didn't know that. Illinois got rid of parole in 1978. Until last year, we had no mechanism for terminally ill or disabled people to come home. We did not have compassionate release. And we've made it harder and harder and harder for anyone to earn time off their sentence through programming or transformative efforts. 1 in 10 people across the country who are serving life or natural life sentences are right here in Illinois. 1 in 10. That's really horrifying, and really horrified me when I found out. And what that means is that there are tens of thousands of people in our own backyard who are stuck in concrete boxes all across the state. And like every single person in this room, they are deserving of service. They are deserving of hope. They are loved and they love. They have families and they have friends. They dream and they wish. They create art and poetry and music. Many of them are elderly or infirm, or have long since transformed themselves and are now leaders in their communities, both behind prison walls and on the outside. Each of them deserves to hope. Each of them deserves to be in community with us, and each of them is deserving of service. And that's what we're trying to do at the Illinois Prison Project. I'm extraordinarily lucky to serve and work with incarcerated people and their communities. In 3 short years, IPP has worked with incarcerated people to secure the freedom of actually now 78 people, not 77, we got one more home. Our team, including our leadership team and our board, includes formerly incarcerated people, including several clients who were serving natural life sentences and now are not only free, but are employed by IPP and work in leadership within our organization to bring hope and justice and service to people who are still trapped in cages. We have changed the laws to create compassionate release for terminally ill people and medically incapacitated or disabled people. And we have created systems to recognize the transformation that so many people in prison have taken upon themselves to achieve and to help support the families who love them. Most importantly of all the work that we've done is that we have created hope for thousands and thousands of people. We've worked in community with them and their loved ones to put that hope into action. So it's an honor and a privilege today to accept this award with them and on their behalf, and to actively hope with so many of you, and to work collectively for a better world for all of us. Thank you.
Well, if this hasn't inspired you, I don't know what else. And thank you for all these extraordinary ladies, women from Chicago, and those of you who presented them. We're so happy that all of us can be here to celebrate them. So do stay in touch because we have a lot of work to do together. All right. Well, now comes the time where I will make a few announcements. On June 14th, on June 30th is the end of my term as president of the Rotary Club of Chicago. And on June 14th, we are going to be installing Timo Reebok, who is somewhere in the audience. I saw him, okay, and Timo, maybe he stepped away. Well, he is our incoming president. So you're all invited to participate in this other nice event. And it's going to be a big celebration like we do every year. All right, we have several committees in our club that you can look at our website, rotary1.org, or at the screen so you know when you're meeting, and you're invited to call in and say, hey, I would like to listen, hear what the committees do. We have the committee service committee, PR marketing, membership, and the international service committee. We do work both local and global. So okay, and then on May 31st is our next meeting. It is going to be just virtual, so you're all invited to join us. And the speaker is Ryan Pavel, who is the CEO of a Warrior Scholar Project. He's a former veteran. So those of you members please know that on June 7th, we are not going to have a meeting. And well, it will be time to adjourn soon. And what we do in our club, we read our 4-way test. So I invite all of you to stand up, and you guests can join us, because the 4-way test is the things we think, say, or do in Rotary. So I say, number 1, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And you should know that we have fun while we do all these things as well. So thank you, all of you, for joining us, those who came from other clubs, our past district governor, Jose. And we have, you know, who is the farthest that came to this meeting is Pubudu and her husband, Krish. They came all the way from Sri Lanka to participate in our meeting. And Pubudu is going to be the district governor for her district. So, you know, we're delighted to have you. So with this now, after we say the four-way test, I am going to ring the bell and declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.